would like to introduce our keynote speaker for the PAMUN conference, Santos, who is a wonderful journalist, award-winning, and she has agreed to do an interview with us to answer a little bit more questions that delegates have been wondering about.
And there were three questions that kept repeating themselves in my head over and over again. One, out of all the list of speakers that you could have chosen to speak at this event, why was it important for you to hear the words of a journalist? There's a well-known joke that journalists talk too much already. Why do you still need to give them a podium? Two, how can I best address and connect with your generation, which has been called post-millennials? And three, what am I going to wear? I found my answer to these three questions in 3 words: personable, global, unique.
I think having the perspective of growing up in the US in the 80s, which was filled with a lot of issues. This was when HIV first started. This was also a lot of freedoms. It was the glory days of the United States. I grew up with a very strong work ethic. I also think that I grew up with a very keen sense of responsibility. Now, going back home to the Philippines and seeing where a lot of changes could be made, it kind of like complemented what I grew up with in terms of having a sense of responsibility, and now carrying that out and the changes that I wanted to see in my own country, in the Philippines.
I saw firsthand how lack of understanding of HIV and sexual health affected the lives of my friends and family. When I saw the opportunity for my writing to somehow make a difference, to influence public opinion and help break down stigma, that's when I decided to leave my post as Assistant Vice President and make a career.
I'm going to be attending the Model UN of your generation and sharing what I've learned here with the school of my daughter when I get back home.
Each of the issues that you will discuss here are founded on the fears, dreams, and aspirations of a country and its people. I dare say that dreams are a representation of the best versions of ourselves. When our perspective and view of the world becomes wider, the world becomes smaller. The more connected we all are.
Different from your generation, we all had an opinion. But I think what was missing from my generation was a way to express that opinion, was a way to consolidate that opinion with other people and bring forces together so people could move and make a change, that positive change that we wanted. I think we had to wait until we were out of school to be able to do some kind of or make some kind of difference. But now you don't have to do that. And what I find so amazing and so inspiring about the young people, they're not waiting. They're not waiting until they get out of school. They're not waiting until they get a degree to make their opinions heard, to make changes, to call for accountability, but at the same time also exercise their own responsibility and duty. It's amazing.
I was somewhat surprised to find that no name has yet to be given to your generation of about 19 or 18 years old and below. The only name that I found was post-millennials. But I think Forbes magazine covered it best, or captured it best, when they proposed calling this generation, Generation We. Being connected is your new normal. Technology is your language, and social networks are your platform. Never before have we been in a better position to be the change that we want to see in this world.
How did you choose the topics of gender issues and sexuality? How do you think a delegate can narrow down his options?
Find a topic that you are passionate about. Find an issue that you are passionate about and care deeply about. And find something that makes you angry. I think I read, Chelsea Clinton was the first one who said that, not me, so don't put me on record as the first one who said that. But I thought she was so right. You have to find something that you are equally passionate and angry about, because these are the things that will motivate you to make a positive change, or to clamor for the change that's needed.
Be bold and fearless when you own up to the responsibility of being future global leaders, but never forget to honor the dream of a unified, better world, the dream that we all share as global citizens.
You really have to find a way to build your name. Think of your brand, Katarina Holtzapple. What is it going to mean? It has to stand for certain issues so that editors will look for you to write certain issues. They'll know that you'll be the best person to write about it, to report on it, and to give an objective, fair view on that issue. That's how you make a name for yourself in journalism. Having said that, it is true, no one can deny that journalism is changing. It's going to be very challenging in the next couple of years. We've been faced with our extinction. People have said that. But I dare say you can never silence a people. You will never be able to silence people who want to tell their story. And that's essentially what we do. But the way that we tell these stories will have to change. As I was saying, it'll have to be more of a collaborative effort now between you, storytellers, as long as you have a smartphone, right? And us, journalists.
Every day is filled with an urgency to tell people's stories, to act as their messenger so that they may be given a voice. Every day is driven by issues that you are passionate enough to care about and angry enough to want to change. Yes, there are days that are filled with the horrors of natural disaster, war, and social injustice. But every day presents an opportunity to be humbled by the unexpected display of kindness and generosity.
Do you have anything you want to say to the students here at PAMUN this weekend, whether it just be a general enjoy Paris or what to do in debate and committee?
That last part of my speech was just something that I added. And I added that last part because I was really drinking it in. From the minute that there was an opening performance when somebody was singing, from Malika's speech, I was really drinking it all in, and I was looking at everyone. And really, I am so inspired by the idealism that I see, the pragmatism, and the determination that I see in each person who was in that room.
I was looking at all of you today and thinking back to what I was like when I was your age. Not nearly half as idealistic, not nearly half as determined as I see all of you today. And I thank you for that.
So I'd like to thank all of you who are here for inspiring me. And as I was saying, it gives me great honor to be here, and it's also a great privilege for me to watch and later on write and read about this legacy that you are going to use to define your generation.
And I thank you for giving me yet another reason to do what I do. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay tayong lahat.